In this video, I'm doing a commentary on a match between Mark Danburg-Wyld and Arda Findikoglu. This is the finals of the DMP jackpot of the 2023 Chicago Open, run by Rory Pascar. Thank you to Bill Riles and Ace Point Backgammon for allowing us to use this video for the commentary. Hope you enjoy it. This time we have an XG feed on the left so you can see the plays. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe. And Arda is a well-known tournament director internationally. He runs many tournaments, including the World Championships in Monte Carlo and the Merit Open in Cyprus. This is a DMP game, so there's no doubling cube, and gammons and backgammons do not count. Mark opens with a 5-1. He splits. It's slightly correct to actually slot with an opening 5-1 at DMP, but not a big deal. Now Arda rolls a double 3 in reply. Standard play is 2 up and 2 down, making the 21 and the 10 point. That's what he does. Mark's trying to make an advanced anchor with those split back checkers. He cannot. He rolls a 5-3. He can make his 3 point behind the anchors. You don't really want to play behind the anchor. However, there's not a lot of productive alternatives, and it does help unstack that heavy 6 point. And that's what he does. Now, Arda's on roll, and he rolls a double 2. He can make his 4 point, unstacking his 6 point, and with the other 2, just 13-9. Nothing else. Now, Mark rolls a 6-3. Nothing really useful except 23-14. That's what he does. Arda's looking to attack. And he can with a 3-2. He hits and brings a second checker down, breaks his midpoint, but he has 13 checkers in the zone. Now Mark comes in with a 4-3. He's forced to come in with a 3. I think it's better to just come out. That's a distraction play with the 4. Forces Arda to hit in the outfield rather than point on head. But instead he plays behind. It looks safer, but now Arda's going to try to make his innerboard points, and that's what he does with a 3-1. Makes his 5 point, does leave a direct 6 shot, but he has the rack, 4, 5, and 6 points. Now, double 3, can't move his back checkers. He's going to want to try to block yellow's back checkers. Best way to do that is making the 10 point there. And if he does that, then he can make his 2 point. And he's looking to make his bar point. It does make a solid 3 prime, but Arda is going to have a pretty easy time escaping his back checkers. Now 4-2, that's a good roll for Arda. Makes his bar point solid 5 prime. That's a strong asset he's going to have for a long time. 4-3, not a productive roll. He's able to cover his 2 point with the 6-2, and with the 3, he's going to slot. These are the types of plays you see at DMP. Now Arda rolls a 4-3. Good roll. He plays 10-3, knocking off the checker that's at the edge of the prime. You always want to do that if you can. 6-3, that's a great roll for Mark. Comes in hitting, and he's leaping the prime. Good roll. However, he does have a blot on his board. Mark needs a 5 or a 4-1 or a double 1 to hit. And he does. He rolls a 5-2. He comes in and hits, and 10-8. Now Mark needs something good. Double 4, he dances. Now Arda's just going to need to escape the back checkers, make his prime, possibly hit. He rolls a 5-3. He's going to safety that blot with a 10-7 and come out 20-15. He doesn't want to leave from the 21 and leave too many blots out there. Mark comes in with a 4-3. The 3 is forced. And the 4, he doesn't have a lot of good options, but 16-12 is probably the best of them. Arda rolls double 2, great roll. He can hit 15-13 and 7-3. Putting 2 checkers on the bar, knocking off the checker at the edge of the prime, and 8-6 is probably his best last two, giving him an extra builder to make his 3-point. That's what he does. Mark wants a 3. Doesn't get it. He gets a 5-2. At least he comes in with one checker. Arda's looking to continue the attack. He rolls a 6-4. That's a good roll. Plays 13-3, makes his full prime. Now Mark's in trouble. 6-3, he dances. Now Arda's in the driver's seat. Double 3, great roll for Arda. He gets to extend his prime, 8-2, putting a second checker on the bar. Mark's trying to anchor, and he doesn't with a 6-4. Now Arda is going to want to try to come out. 5-2. He can hit, but his back checkers might get stuck, so he just comes out. Good play. Mark's looking to anchor. He cannot. He dances with a 3-2. Now Arda rolls a 6-1. He should attack. Instead, he's playing safe. The attacking play was right. You want to just go for the jugular. Go for the closeout. He does not. Mark rolls a 3-1. He's able to come in and anchor. Now 4-3 for Arda. Brings two checkers off his 14-point. 6-5. Mark dances. Arda's just trying to bear in his checkers. Comes into his 5-point. Nice to have a spare checker there. 4-2. Dances again. 3-2. Good play. Pre-clearing the bar point. That's going to be the hardest point to clear. It's good to clear it when the opponent's on the bar, especially at DMP. Now 5-1 comes into the 6-point. The ace doesn't matter so much, as long as he doesn't play 3-2, of course. Then he plays 5-4. Mark dances with a 6-2. Arda rolls a 3-2. He should clear a 6-point. He does not. Spreads out his distribution. I recommend Endgame Technique by Michihito Kageyama. He talks about bearing in and bearing off against an ace-point game. You really want to make that mountain structure. Now he rolls a 5-1 and bears off a checker. Mark comes in with a 5-1. Comes in with a 1, plays 13-8. 6-2 for Arda, good roll, bears off a checker and plays 6-4. Double 4 for Mark, good roll. He's able to make his 4-point and slot his 5-point. Three, 2, he can bear off a checker. That's what he does. He does want to strip his inner points. Now Mark rolls a 3-1, makes his 5-point for a 5-point board and 7-6 with the ace. Double 5, great roll for Arda. Bears off 4 checkers. He has only 8 checkers remaining. Now 6-2 for Mark. He can come out all the way. Could have left that checker on his bar point to hopefully make it later, but he did not. Arda rolls a 6-2, bears off a checker and plays 4-2. Mark 5-3. Could have slotted his ace point, not a big deal. 5-4, now Arda leaves a shot. Mark wants a 2. He doesn't get it. 3-1. Can slot his bar point. Look, it turns out the best play is 10-7, 2-1. I don't think I would have seen that. 4-3, Arda takes off 2 checkers. Now, Mark is looking for the coup classique. 3-2. He leaves so that if Arda rolls a 1 that's not a double 1, he leaves a double shot. He does not. He rolls a 3-2, but Mark's going to need a 1 this roll, or that's it. He does get it. 5-1. He hits, and 6-1. He slots his ace point. Arda is still a big favorite, even if he gets closed out. He dances. Mark rolls a double 1 to make his board. And now with a 5-1, just trying to come into the ideal bear-off structure with a full board with spares on the 6, 5, and 4 points. 5-1 brings that spare checker to the 5 point. Good play, even though double 6 leaves a shot, doesn't matter. 4-3, he should play all the way to the bar point. He wants that checker on the 6. Not a big deal. Now with the 5-2, he's going to play 10-5 and 3-1. It's going to start to bear off aggressively. 4-1, he can take off just a single checker, keeping his board intact. Double 4. Great roll, practically forced. 6-2 twice and 2 off the 4 point. Now if Arda can come in, he's a favorite. And he does with a 6-2. 12 checkers. 4-2. Bad roll. He misses with the 4. And he bears off a checker. Now Arda just has 1 checker on his 17 point. He'll be off in 2 or 3 rolls. 4-3. Plays to his 10 point. Mark's going to need some doubles. That's not it. 5-1. And 4-3. That's gin. Mark concedes. Congratulations to Arda. Now we're going to look at some of the positions. This was the first position where Mark had a 4-3 from the bar, came in with a 3, and the 4, he could have come out. Instead, he played behind. You don't really want to be afraid of leaving blots at DMP. What's going to happen is yellow is going to attack and try to make interboard points. If you bring the checker out here, it serves as a distraction. So instead of making this point with 3s and 1s, he's going to be forced to hit. So like a 6-3, also he could have made this point, but out here he would have been forced to hit and possibly hit twice. Instead, he played behind, and it turns out the bar 18 is the best play. Now the double 3, this was a tough play. Doubles are always very hard. Here, it's obviously you can't move the back checkers. So the best bet, being down 10 pips, you'll be up 2 pips after the roll. Just want to at least try to block these back checkers. The best way of doing that is making the 10 point and just keeping it there. And then the other 2, you can play 8-2, making a 3-point board. You obviously don't want to make points behind the anchor, but at least it makes a 3-point board against the 3-point board. It turns out that was the best. So you can see 13-10 twice and 8-2. Instead, he made his bar point. Now the 6-1, this is where you can be aggressive, especially at DMP. You just want to hit here, trying to close them out and advance the back checker. Your big favorite with a 5-3 board advantage and a 5 prime. If yellow gets hit, he has 1 checker on the bar, but black has 3 checkers on the bar, and yellow can come in on the 4 or 5 in front of these checkers behind, whereas if black comes in, he would be behind a 5 prime because this would have been used to hit. Instead, he played all the way out to his 14 point. That way, black doesn't have a double 1 to come in and hit. But you see, it was better to actually hit. Turned out Mark rolled an ace next, so it wouldn't have worked out in that case. However, it doesn't make a difference. This still the best play. Now with the 3-2, this is what I was talking about. If you read Michi's book, he talks about making a mountain structure. You really want spares here on the 3, 4, and 5 points. When you want to clear the 6 points, the hardest number, the most problematic number is the difference between the location of the highest point and the anchor. So here, the highest point that he's going to want to clear next is 6 point, and the anchor is on the 1 point. So 6 minus 1 is 5. 5s he cannot play from his 6 point. Those are blocked, so you want to have spares here. So clearing this leaves a spare there to allow for him to safely play a 5 in case he cannot clear his 6 point with a 6 or like a 4-3, 4-2, 4-1, 3-2, 3-1, 2-1, something like that. You don't want checkers here on the 2 point. Anyway, it's a small error. He did smoothen out his distribution, but that's a good book to read when you're learning about bearing in and bearing off against 8-point games, as well as 2-point games, 3-point games, and others. Now, 6-2. This is where Mark played 24-18, but he could have left this checker here on his 7-point to try to complete the prime from the back. When he plays 18-16, he would need 9. So 5 rolls, 6-3, 5-4, and double 3 would have made it next. And that way you would have a solid 5 prime. Instead, he came in with 7-5. And that's also a small error. And that's it. So thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this one with the XG feed. Please like and subscribe. Please let me know in the comments what you think, what you'd like to see, and I'll see you in the next video.